Actors nowadays have to be willing to work in all mediums. I was very snobbish for many, many years and only wanted to do theater. But I'm over that now because, A, you've got to make a living. And it is very difficult if you're only going to do theater the rest of your life. You have to be open to everything.
I live in New York City. I live in New York City. I live in New York City. Yeah.
I view one as like you're talking to everybody in real time, and the other one is like putting a message in a bottle and throwing it out in the ocean.
Please welcome the very talented Reggie Watts.
Television, you know, you have to have an awareness of what this will read like. A live performance, you're looking at the last row of people to make it look like you're looking at everybody. With a camera, it's like you have to defocus away from the cameras entirely and not be aware that they are there and just allow yourself to seal that environment and be in that world.
Thank you very much.
With film, it's all about the eyes. And I had a great meeting with Sidney Lumet once. And he said, theater actors are always being told that they're too big for film, that they're too theatrical. And he said, I don't care how you can swing from the rafters and your face can turn purple, but if you're telling the truth, it will work on film. So don't worry about it. It's just got to be real.
It's much more of a dialogue when it's live performance, where you can literally coast on a wave that the audience is providing. But when you're doing film, it's just like you've got to coast on your own internal spiral. And you really, really, really hope that the director and the editor and the sound person make that work.
I direct or act in a play every season, and I continually produce stuff, so film was the thing that kind of came along after the fact. I can't do one for too long. I don't want to be in a play for 10 months. And if I do a couple films back to back, or I'm in a long shoot of a film, you know, you get burnt out. I do.
I think people are interested in finding people in the theater to write, particularly as there's more cable and there's so much excellent television writing now, you know, and a lot of playwrights get moved there. And with actors, it's very rare for people to make their living as a theater actor anymore. You just can't do it.
Well, most artists have to do some things that are more just for paying the bills. And I find this in my colleagues who write film music, where I was having a conversation with a fairly eminent friend of mine who is a film composer. And he always says, well, it's just this one more film, and then I'll move from LA to my shack in Connecticut and write my string quartets. But it's always that one more film because it pays so well.
If I had just focused on film composing, probably either I would be making more money and I'd be more advanced in my career, or I would have found that I'm working a day job. I'm actually making a living because I'm doing a lot of different things, and that's, you know, I'm used to like kind of having my antenna out and going, oh, this is a good path to go in. So I make a living by doing a lot of different slices of the pie, and that keeps me that informs everything else I do and keeps my life interesting.
I didn't really go to Hollywood until I was in my 40s, but when I went, I automatically had, to my great surprise, the respect of the people I was working with in Hollywood, because they know if you're theater trained, you're going to show up on time, you're going to know your lines. And theater artists have a great deal of respect in Hollywood, all the way across the board. Everyone, because we've proved our stuff. I like film, it's just not home.
New York City. I live in New York City. I live in New York City.
Yeah.